You someone who's maybe feeling a little bit lonely, or you felt it in the past, or you know someone who's feeling it. Now, as a man, it's something that I've struggled with, and it's actually really impacted my mental health and my development moving forward as I strive in my career and my businesses, all those kind of things. So today, I really wanted to talk about loneliness and how it's been a challenge for me, and then how I've worked through it to really move forward. And if you stay until the very end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, loneliness and many other feelings are things that can really block us. And often we can do the mind work, we can really like think into it and journal. And that's what I'm giving you on this podcast. One thing that's really helped me go deeper is the power of breath work. Breath work really has allowed me to release certain blocks I didn't even know was there. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. And I believe it's such a game changer for anyone really wanting to work through maybe some challenges they just can't get to the bottom of, whether that's in their health, their relationships, or their business or career. So if that's something you want to work through, all you got to do is click in the link below and book in a call with me to talk about breathwork. So I was feeling a bit lonely recently, and it's a feeling, it's a perfectly natural feeling that can come up. Because personally, just to tell my story, I'm like a single 33-year-old guy, almost 34, and I live by myself. I sometimes go stay with the family. I've got lots of friends. I have lots of social activities. Yet sometimes when I get my head down and work a little bit hard, I actually have found myself, I really need some company right now. And that's not coming from a perspective where I used to be like, I need some validation, someone please like me, years ago. It's more like, well, I'm a human being, I need other human being. And I actually start noticing it taking a bit of a mental toll. And I went into a workplace the other day, and then I saw some people I knew, and instantly my emotional levels went up. I was chatting to people, I was having conversations, and when I'm around people like reasonably similar interests, I suddenly really enjoy it, and it really changed my energy. And it got me thinking, when I've been doing my mental health research, a lot of the time, loneliness is a huge impact on our mental health. And particularly as men, I've learned, and from guys I've spoken to and in my own experience, because having emotions that we can't always voice because of what perceptions of people thinking, or the perception of others, we might think about the perception of others when we're like scared to express our emotions, then it actually can become very lonely. And I've also noticed when I've been in like men's groups and things like that, actually it's made a massive difference, particularly in person. Virtual stuff's great and it's really good to speak to people, but being in person with someone is a different kind of energy for me. I believe as human beings, we need each other. Now, you don't need every human, because not every human is going to like each other, but I think it plays a big role in helping us feel more connected to life. So how maybe is it helping you by having feelings of loneliness and being trapped in it? Because if you're anything like me, I don't like being lonely. And that's why I really want to give some guidance, because I appreciate sometimes loneliness can be something we're stuck in, and we go through these stories and it's hard to reach out. So that's why I really want to make this specific men's episode today on loneliness. So here's some points I want to share with you. First of all, list what you would like out of an ideal peer group. Like if you're around a bunch of men or even women in your life, or any gender or any individual, what are the kind of people you would like in your peer group? What kind of things are you looking for? And that often stems from what is it you want? Because if you're someone who absolutely loves, on top of my head, video games, you want people into video games. If you're really sporty, and by the way, you can be both of these. If you're really sporty and you like keeping healthy, like I do, you might want to go to running groups like I do, play football like I do, right? So what is it you want? What is it you enjoy? What do you want from a peer group? First of all, you have to get clear before you start direction. The second question is then to ask yourself, do I have that, or what do I need to do to get that? Now, we're very blessed in this world that we've got more opportunities than ever. Also, unfortunately, though, sometimes just the lack of communication, the real communication, and just text all the time can impact us as well in this day and age we live in. But you just use it in your advantage to find groups, forums, if you need to find people. Ask yourself, what have you got like in your life already? Maybe it's an opportunity to develop even more. Like if you've got like, oh, I really like hanging out with that friend. I don't see him much. Maybe it's an opportunity to see that friend more. The third thing is have standards for how many people you want to see. Like have standards of people, because if you just let anyone in and people who make you feel not so good, then that's going to knock you down and make you feel lonely as well. Because if you don't feel connection, that for me really has made me feel lonely. And then the fourth one is build a strong relationship with yourself. This is absolutely fundamental. And actually, I probably should have made that the first point, if I'm honest. Having a strong relationship with yourself is absolutely critical, I genuinely believe, because I've spent some time with myself in the past, and I've been miserable and I've been lonely. And that's when I've not been listening to all my emotions. I've also been lonely when I've been around a bunch of people and I just didn't felt seen or heard. Yet I've also had a real breakthrough, maybe it's a breathwork session or meditation, got really deep with myself. And then I went for a walk with myself and I felt so connected. I didn't feel lonely at all. And that's because I'd really connected with myself. And therefore I was able to reach out to the people I needed because of that connection myself. I believe true, strong connection with other people starts with yourself. Now, I've got a final point I want to end on, which has been a really key one, and it kind of extends on from that fourth one. I want to mention again, though, that if you're someone who wants to connect even further with yourself and or others, one of the most powerful tools you can use is breathwork. And that's why it's been life transforming for me when I've used it, and that's why I now offer it. So if you're someone who really wants to get out of the pain of being like, oh, I feel not connected with myself or other people, then all you got to do is click in the link in the show notes below and book in your call. My final point for you is the inner child. This is talk about connection. When I've really connected with my inner child, like the inner 3-year-old version of Johnny, and I've been like loving him and appreciating him, it's like I've got my own kid. Now you may have a kid, may not, I don't have any kids. But when I've connected with that younger version of me, I've really felt connection, and therefore I felt I've had a better relationship with myself, and therefore I've been able to move forward a lot more. So really start thinking about how you can connect with your inner child on a more deeper level, because that's going to build connection with yourself and therefore reduce the feelings of loneliness. So that's what I got for you today. I've given you some tips around being clear on what peer groups you want, what do you have now, what you're going to do, move forward. What are the standards that you want for people? Like, are there people who don't make you feel great? Because that's going to make you feel lonely if you're surrounded by them. And of course, the key one is to create a really strong relationship with yourself. Now, that might take a little bit of time if you've been attacking yourself in the past, but the inner child one, seeing yourself as a young child, is a really powerful one to deepen that relationship. So I appreciate you for being here. And remember, lead with your heart and not with fear.